Alright y'all, it's SJ. Welcome back to another video. We are back in Reason after a short break, hopping on the Minecraft world for a little while and making the Wii Sports theme out of that. Let's see. Part 5 will have just come out and I've already probably filmed part 6. I'm recording these a couple days in advance, so I don't really know what I've done yet. Today, we have been tasked with, well, we haven't been tasked with, this is just an assignment for grad school. Another mixing assignment, like with the Austin Armstrong video that I did a couple of weeks ago. I'll be linked above if you haven't watched that yet. This song is kind of a rap song. The way I say kinda, it's like kind of a rap, kind of how, what was that song by Kesha and what Macklemore was it? Was it Macklemore? The Good Old Days? Was that Kesha and Macklemore? Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It's kind of like that. But there are a lot of vocals in here, and in this, I'm going to be showing you guys how we can make our vocals, quote, pop, or make them, quote, bigger. And also, what does panning have to do with all this? So let's go ahead and listen to this section. This is just rapping, specifically Larry rap, apparently. I wonder if Larry's the white guy in that Sir Mix-a-Lot song, Posse's on Broadway. That was Sir Mix-a-Lot, wasn't it? I think it was Sir Mix-a-Lot. My 90s rap is a little rusty, but let's get right into this song here.
Out your hand, here's an apple. Out your tongue, make it casual.
The song is called Garden of Eden, so I believe this is a parody, not a parody, a musical version of when the serpent tempted Eve in the Bible? I think that's what this is. This is actually the more I listen to it, that's actually a really cool concept.
Pray to God, but chase the devil.
Yep.
Quick to lie, still unnatural.
Still natural, I see.
All that charm and still unnatural. I can hold you dear, but you still a maverick. You receive it all, though it's gradual. You receive it all, though it's gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69. Hold so much anger inside of me, like rainbows and 6'9".
So essentially, this track right here, it's called Spoken Lines. It's just literally a spoken words here of this. So we can just kind of mute that. I forgot to earlier. Let's go back and listen again.
You receive it all, though it's gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69. Hold so much anger inside of me, like rainbows and 6'9". Career to rocket, but no Houston, hope I'm out of line. Been flipping K2 since a young and guess that's homicide. My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, baby, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah.
I liked how that don't know what's in my brain or whatever that line was. I like how that was melodic. But there are lots of stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute all of this. We will listen to all of it, and then we will mix all of it. Let's go ahead and unmute all of these tracks here. Let's go back to the beginning. This was, where was the beginning? Beginning was 17.
Out your hand, here's an apple. Out your tongue, make it casual. Pray to God, but chase the devil. Quick to lie, still unnatural.
Still natural, I see.
All that charm and still unnatural. I can hold you dear, but you still a maverick. You receive it all, though it's gradual. You receive it all, though it's gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69. Hold so much anger inside
Clearly
of
you
me,
can
like
hear
rainbows
there.
and 6'9". Career to rocket, but no Houston, hope I'm out of line.
When I said 69, that part's emphasized because there's more parts there. So that 69 sound seems bigger because of the spoken lines and the ad-libs in there too. So I believe those 3 or 4 of them there.
You receive it all, though it's gradual.
Count.
You receive it all, though it's gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69.
4 times in the spoken lines and in the ad-libs. So for these, I would want to take them down. They're supposed to accent the word, but they're kind of taking away from it a little bit. So let's go ahead and actually in all these ad-libs, let's take these down a bit.
receive it all, though it's gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69. Hold so much anger inside of me, like rainbows and 6ix9ine. Career to rocket, but no Houston, hope I'm out of line. Been flipping K2 since a young and guess that homicide. My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain.
That had no business being that pretty. Wow. Okay, so these I want to turn down as well, but they add harmony. So again, we want them to complement the main rap here that Larry is doing, but we don't want them to overpower it. So we're trying to tuck those in behind the rapping. So when I say tuck behind, the closer you are to something, the louder it's going to appear. So when I say tuck behind, we are making it slightly softer than the volume of the main vocal, in this case Larry's rapping. So we are then, in theory, tucking the other parts behind Larry.
Yeah, I'm here with no. I'm sick of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that homicide. My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain.
Now that sounds way better, because there are a total of, don't know what's in my brain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe that was 8 of them. So that line is clearly the most emphasized, and also it's building to something else eventually. So let's back it up, listen again.
My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah.
That is really nice. I want to turn the melodic elements in the backing vocals up a tad here.
My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah, I'm here wishing.
Yeah, that line is extremely emphasized, and also the melodicness of it makes it a tad bit different, which is what we are wanting as well. So let's say if we took these out.
I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah.
It's all just still a rap, which could work, which if we want to do that, we could, but the backing vocals are there. Clearly, this was intended for a purpose, so we want to keep those in there.
Lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah, I'm here wishing. Godspeed to these two shoe Godspeeds with death wishes. Out your hand, here's an apple.
So that last line, there's another section of it.
Steak, I'm sorry, lady. I'm here with, yeah, brain. What's been on my brain? Yeah, I'm here with, what's been on my brain? Steak, I'm sorry, lady. I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah, I'm here wishing. Godspeed to these two shoe Godspeeds with death wish.
What's interesting about this here, I'm going to solo this for a second, see if y'all catch this.
Don't know what's been on my brain. Godspeed to these two shoe Godspeeds with death wishes.
So how he did that, he went into Melodyne or Auto-Tune or something like that and dropped it down to the 5th interval below where that main vocal laid. So yeah, that's why it sounds artificial. He's doing that on purpose too, which that was really cool. All right, now that this has been mixed, let's talk about panning, because when we're dealing with all these vocals, all the other instruments have been panned, but all this is dead in the middle. The main vocal is supposed to be dead in the middle. Everything else is supposed to complement that. So the ad-libs and the spoken lines can tuck right behind Larry. So let's go and do this.
Still natural, I see.
All that charm and still on natural. I can hold you dear, but you still a maverick. Gradual. You receive it all, though it's gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like a 69. Also,
it's tucked behind him, which that's what we're wanting. We can leave that in the middle since it is tucked behind. Now these ad-libs, these are going to be tricky, because there are a lot of them here. Let's solo all 4 of these here.
Still in Maverick.
Actually, on solo these.
That was gradual. Yeah. You receive it all. That was gradual.
There are 4 of these here. We can pan 2 left and 2 right, but these are spoken. So we still want these pretty close to the main vocal. So let's pan these accordingly. Let's go about 16. "16 left, 16 right." Same with these 2 as well. Alright, so this should be good.
Yeah, but you still in Maverick. You receive it all. That was gradual. You receive it all. That was gradual.
And also, when we say bigger, we're not saying bigger in the sense that the volume is more. We're saying bigger in the sense that not only is there a dynamic change, it's wider as well. It covers more space in the... I just lost my train of thought. It covers more space in the stereo field, meaning the amount you can hear the 180 degrees from your left ear all the way to your right.
Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69. Hold so much anger inside of me, like rainbows and 6'9". Career to rock.
69, that's now emphasized, but it's all tucking behind him, which is perfect. It's boosting the vocal up instead of taking away from it. If we made these 3 way the same volume or way more, it's going to take away. Listen to this.
You receive, yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69.
Now it sounds like a group. And this is not a group at all. This is just one guy. So we are using these to boost his vocal up by tucking other elements behind his voice. And that's what the purpose of these are.
Hold so much anger, that was gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like it's 69. Hold so much anger inside of me, like rainbows of me, still like it's 69. Hold so much anger inside of me.
So now it's perfect. So now we're going to go to these 4 backing vocals here, which one of these isn't being used. It's used later on in the song, but we're not going to get there.
Like rainbows and but no flip homicide. My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain.
Those melodies, they sound great. Here's what I'm going to do, though. Since these are melodic, they're going to go further out than the ad-libs. The further out from the center you go, it's either going to be because you're trying to mimic the stage that the song performed on, or if it's something like this when there's a lot of vocals. The less important things go further to the sides. At least that's the techniques I've started to use. That could be right or wrong or indifferent. So we're going to pan these. Let's go 30 and 30. Since there are just 3, here's what I'm going to do. There are just 3 of them here. And there needs to be 4 for this to be even.
Yeah, I'm here with what's been on my brain.
So, there needs to be 4 here for us to go 2 and 2. I don't want to put 1 in the middle. Here's what we're going to do. Backing vocal 3 isn't getting used, so we're going to get rid of backing vocal 3. We're going to take backing vocal 4. Let's copy it, and let's paste it. Where did it go anywhere? I don't know where backing vocal 4 went to, actually. Oh, I have to click on this. There we go. So now backing vocal 4 has been copied. So now we can have 2 parts to the left and 2 parts to the right. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So this will be 4. Yeah, let's go 41. Why not? 41. Make sure everything's even. So now this is more in the stereo field than it was originally. Plus, it gets wider throughout as well. So when we say this vocal sounds big or bigger, the reason why we say that is, again, I've been saying this before, not just because of volume, but because of the width of the sound. Let's go back and listen to this whole phrase again.
Out your hand, here's an apple. Out your tongue, make it casual.
Starts out soft.
Pray to God, but chase the double. Quick to lie, still unnatural. All that charm and still unnatural. I can hold you dear, but you still a maverick. You receive it all, though it's gradual. You receive it all, though it's gradual. Yeah. I march with dreams inside of me, still like a 69.
Also, the instrumentation went up as well. It got louder, there became more elements. So to combat that and keep the listener attached to the vocals, we need to add more vocals and things like that as well, which is what Larry Contreras did in this.
Oh, so much anger side of me like rainbows and 6ix9ine. Career to rocket, but no Houston, hope I'm out of line. Been flipping K2 since a youngin', guess that homicide. My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain.
One thing I forgot to do, now that these last two were copied, the last harmony is way louder than the other ones. Whoops. So let's, again, combat that. I think I said it right the first time. We all know my English isn't the best. We take it down a little here.
I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah, I'm here with no flipping K2 since a youngin', guess that homicide. My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain.
So we went, since the instrumentation got bigger, the vocals got bigger as well, with help of extra backing vocals, tucking the spoken vocals and ad-libs behind Larry, and the backing vocals surrounding him, and overall it just being a wider sound in general. That's why a lot of 80s vocals, everybody talks about how big they were. Not just because of the fact that they were adding ones, but also reverb helps a ton with that as well. Let's go back and listen to this part again.
Inside of me, still like a 69. Oh, so much anger side of me, like rainbows and 6ix9ine. Career to rocket, but no Houston, hope I'm out of line. Been flipping K2 since a youngin', guess that homicide. My mama showed me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain.
That works perfectly, because without these four harmonies here, because the instrumentation is starting to ramp up, and the vocals have already been on another level ever since all the ad-libs came in. The instrumentation keeps going up in dynamics, so the vocals should match that.
Career to rocket, but no Hughes flip at homicide of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain.
And that fixed it, which then goes into the later parts of the song.
Me that mistake of helping cutting steak. I'm sorry, lady, I just don't know what's been on my brain. Yeah, I'm here wishing.
And well, that was a short video, I know, but that is essentially how you use panning and different vocals, both backing vocals and in this case ad-libs, to make your vocals sound bigger. Tuck the first couple of vocals, if they're spoken lines, ad-libs, whatever, tuck them behind your main vocal. Behind meaning the volume is lower, just so to the listener it feels like they are behind the main vocalist. And then the backing vocals you put around the main vocalist, because say you have a choir or something behind you, they're going to be around you in the stereo field. Because if you're looking directly at a choir, there will be people on slightly to your left and people slightly to your right. And as a mix engineer, you want to kind of replicate that. So, yeah, this vocal pops a lot more. It is wider. There are more dynamics. Let's actually show an example with another song. All right, I'm back. I have Claire Yardis's answers pulled up, and y'all remember the harmonies. For this one, there have been some changes, some more dynamic changes in the instrumentation when it comes to the piano, and there's organ now too. They're both but the piano and the organ are the piano isn't double tracked. The organ is double tracked, just so it creates a wider space. And that's how you make something wider. ADT is what they call it, artificial double tracking. You could also use spreaders and things like that, but I'm personally not a big fan of spreaders. Sometimes they mess things up a little bit in certain ways. So yeah, the organ is going to sound like this. Maybe I should get to our midway through.
And all you see is life.
Okay, the organ. What happened to the organ? Like the organ doesn't exist anymore. What is the deal here? Oh, it's just for the second verse. That's all right.
He's carried out in red, white, and blue.
Hear how wide of a space that is because they were double tracked and panned left and right. Makes it feel like they're the widest thing in the room. And also because they've been panned, it changes the dynamics of the arrangement and makes it bigger because of not only the volume, because sometimes volume doesn't change because dynamic range is a thing, because of the wideness of the sound as well. Let's keep on listening here.
Heroes never cry is what they say.
Her harmony coming in to accent her vocal, not take away from it, but add to it. I could have panned this center, but my vocal is coming in on the left. So again, these come in slightly left and slightly right to create a more full, quote, bigger sounding vocal in the second chorus.
Kids don't have answers, and life will leave you wondering why. Weddings go away, and sometimes soldiers die. It's not about how the dice land.
That sounds way bigger than the first chorus. Let's listen to the first chorus. We're just going to listen to just the vocals here. Listen to the loudness difference between this and then the second verse and the third verse.
Words in your hand are fun, and life will leave you wondering why. No one seems to care.
Her voice fits perfectly in there. But when the instrumentation ramps up in the second verse, we need something to combat that from a vocal standpoint. So this is why in this chorus,
sometimes the questions don't have answers.
There are three. And they don't take away from her voice at all. They just lift it up. And in this, same principle here. And also, the bass, you're probably thinking, okay, SJ, there are 4 vocals. Last time you had 4 vocals, you're paying 2 left, 2 right. The problem why we couldn't do that this time, you have a main vocal here. That stays center. The left and the right, they stay left and right. Since the bass is such a low frequency and such a different sound than the rest, you can have that be in the center. If it was the same frequency range as her voice, you would want to move that somewhere else. Probably copy the track, make 2 of them, split it to where one's left and one's right. But since this is such a frequency change and there's that bottom end that really nothing else really has vocally, you can leave that in the middle.
Don't have times the questions don't have answers, and life will leave you wondering why. Sorrow goes away, and all you Sometimes the questions don't have answers.
Notice how much bigger that last chorus sounded because of that fourth vocal that was, in this case, anchoring the low end, which that's another thing. I've talked about that in my mixing harmony vocals videos. I think I had a harmony series at one point. But yeah, that's another thing about that. But notice how much bigger that chorus sounded than the second one. Not just because of the piano, because the organ went away, but it got bigger because of the extra vocal in there. And when you're trying to change the dynamics of your song, you either want to do it in the form of instrumentation or the form of vocals, but you don't want to go too far in one direction or the other because it will take away from that other aspect. Meaning if you add too many vocals, it takes away from the instrumentation, of course, unless you're doing a cappella. And if you add too much instrumentation, it will take away from the vocal, which is why you usually want to combat that with, if I'm going to add 3, 4, 5 different instruments, I'm going to want more than one vocal. Unless if the song is just a band and one singer. In that case, you do want it to be just one. But usually, when the dynamics increase instrumentally, you want to increase them vocally as well. As you heard with the last chorus. We're just going to play the difference one last time between chorus 1, chorus 2, and chorus 3. Just so we can get just so y'all can hear the results.
But sometimes the questions don't have answers. Sometimes the questions don't have answers. Sometimes the questions don't have answers.
Option 3 sounded bigger. Because even though the organ went away, the vocal, the main aspect of the song, the main thing that's carrying, the main focal point of the song, the focal point keeps getting bigger, thus the entire song as a whole gets bigger. And that's how you use a combination of panning and backing vocals to make your vocals sound, quote, bigger. SJ, signing off.